Welcome to the 1 Minute Apologist. 1 Minute Apologist. Apologetics seeks to give credible answers to curious questions, to give a defense. What is God's view of sex compared to the world's? I once heard it said that sex is God's idea. Indeed it is. Many people have this view that God wants to just destroy anything sexual whatsoever, when God wants us to know the joy of sexual intimacy. But how does He want us to enjoy it? I put together a chart that helps us to see the difference between the way that God views sex and the way the world views sex. The worldly perspective is sex is for pleasure only, but the Christian perspective is sex is designed for mutual pleasure. Now, granted, the worldly perspective would say that, sure, sex is for procreation, and the Christian perspective would as well. But the worldly perspective says that pornography can enhance sex in marriage, where the Christian perspective says pornography can destroy sex in marriage. The worldly perspective says that sex is permitted outside of the marriage relationship. The Christian perspective is sex is designed within the marriage context, and that's where it's to take place. The worldly perspective says that sex is not gender specific, whereas the Christian perspective says sex is gender specific between a man and a woman. The worldly perspective views women as objects, whereas the Christian perspective views women as valuable, created in God's image. The worldly perspective says, hey, sample each other out first to see if you're a good fit, whereas God and the Christian perspective believes if God brought a couple together, then they can be a good fit. And finally, the worldly perspective, they think that sex is wonderful and exhilarating. Yet the Christian perspective would say the same thing. Yet they need to remember that sex does have a context.